Running a business means juggling a lot of moving parts. And when your communication tools can't keep up, things start to slip. Missed calls, slow replies, scattered conversations. They're not just frustrating, they're lost opportunities and revenue left on the table. That's where Quo comes in, spelled Q-U-O. Quo is the #1 rated business phone system on G2, trusted by over 90,000 businesses. One shared business number for calls and texts, so every conversation stays visible, organized, and accountable. It works from an app or computer. You can keep your existing number, add teammates, and sync your CRM, letting you scale without adding complexity. And with built-in AI, Quo logs calls, summarizes conversations, and flags next steps, even after hours. Stop missing customers. Stop leaving revenue on the table. Try Quo free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/tech. That's QUO.com/tech. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
Hannah, I just Venmo'd you for dinner.
Obsessed. I'm spending it right now on the lip gloss that's been sitting in my cart.
What do you mean spending it right now?
You can instantly spend your balance with the Venmo debit card or when you pay with Venmo at checkout.
Stop. Say more.
More exactly. The more you do with Venmo, the more you get, like earning up to 5% cash back with Venmo Stash. Get the Venmo debit card or check out online. Venmo Stash bundle terms and exclusions apply. Max $100 per month. See terms at venmo.me/stash terms. Venmo checkout not available at all merchants. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A.
Hello, welcome to the Oral Health Podcast, where we're celebrating National Smile Month's landmark 50th anniversary. And it wouldn't really be fitting to talk about National Smile Month without talking about smiles, the history of them, why they're so good for us, and where we think they're going to go in the future as cosmetic enhancements become ever more popular. And joining me, as always, is Karen. How are you doing today, Karen?
I'm good. I'm smiling, actually.
Good. Me
because
too.
The weather's nice, and even though it's a Monday morning, it's good. All's good in the world.
It does. It does. It just feels nice when the weather's out. And like you say, smiling makes us feel better, and we feel good when we smile. So that's actually something that sets us apart from pretty much every other mammal, animal out there, where it really is like almost a sign of like aggression and like stay away from me signal.
Yeah, showing the teeth is generally seen as a stay away aggressive movement. I think sometimes our dogs learn to smile, but that's because they're domesticated. Cats really couldn't be bothered what you think of them, to be fair. So they probably don't care whether they smile at you or not. But I think sometimes dogs do, like, show their teeth in a loving way to their owners. And
yeah,
they
can be very lovely like that. My dog does this thing where when we're play fighting, she wants me to know that she's not for real fighting. So she kind of like grins her mouth, but she tucks her teeth behind her lips. So she like, so she's like, look at me, nice. It's very, very cute. But like, if we look at people, if we look at like primates, which is, what we came from, the smile is a stay clear. Do not come near me. I am gonna rip you apart if you approach. Like, that's very much a stay clear signal. And we've kind of evolved with the smile to mean something completely different.
I think our smile involves the whole face, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, you can tell if somebody is fake smiling because it's not in their eyes. And, if somebody is genuinely smiling, you can tell because their eyes smile. I remember when we first had the smiley stick, smiley, and we got people to hold the smiley in front of the face. And I could say to people, no, you've got to smile behind the smile, because you can tell just by looking at their eyes if they're smiling or not. which is, I think, is very important with our um, non-verbal communication, isn't it? It's how we, you, and there's that famous poem, isn't it? About you can catch a smile like the flu, like you smile to somebody and they smile back. I'll
Oh,
have
I've
to
not
find
heard
it for
that.
you because it's a
Yeah.
lovely poem. It is a lovely poem. I'll find it out for you and we'll have to attach it because it's funny, isn't it? Because it's really hard. If somebody smiles at you, it's really hard not to smile back at them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very
And
hard.
I, as someone who doesn't always find like non-verbal communication the easiest, I always find myself like, I must smile so that they know I'm friendly. Like it's like a mental thing almost to be like,
Yeah.
hi, I am not threatening.
Well, I find it, when I go out for my walk at lunchtime, I live in quite a small, like, villagey community, and you pass somebody, I might not know them, but we always smile, or I smile at their dog, and then I smile at them, or whatever. And it's just a nice way of communicating. You don't need to get into a conversation or anything like that. It's just a way of acknowledging somebody is there, and I'm friendly.
hmm Yeah. And we can see sort of the first, if you like, depictions of a friendly smile or a non-aggressive smile as far back as sort of like ancient Greece, where like about 650 to 450 we can see like subtle smiles in like ancient Greek statues and sculptures. So that is, I think, the first instance we have of that. And then of course we have much more like Renaissance art as we move into like the art representation where it just wasn't practical to smile for a long time. It took like 6 hours, maybe even a whole day to paint a picture. You can't sit there like
Mm.
this the whole
And
time.
also,
Not comfortable.
dental health wasn't good in those
Yes.
days.
Yeah.
Many people, I mean, you look at the most famous smile in the world, Mona Lisa.
hmm
She's not showing her teeth. Now, is that part of not showing your teeth? Was it fashionable then not to show your teeth? Or was there a more aesthetic reason that you don't smile because your teeth were not very good? And, we've changed now with a big toothy grin
hmm
because our teeth are better probably. But, that kind of like subtle smile that
hmm
she has, um, I think it tells a different story, doesn't it? You don't know whether it's why she's doing that. Is she being coy, or is she just got a mouthful of black teeth?
Yeah, we'll never know.
We'll
And
never
I quite
know.
like that. It's
Yeah.
it's a like the whole a draw of the painting, isn't it? The element of mystery. But yeah, I think the bad dental hygiene probably is part of the reason. I think also I remember learning about this in school where it was like it was improper or like you looked mad. They thought you looked mad if you showed your teeth. You were like a primal person. Which again, going back to that kind of primal,
Mm.
I'm unstable kind of
Yeah,
like a
there's
mad
something to think
grin more
about
than a
it.
happy grin.
Yeah, there is a mad grin, isn't there? But again, that shows in the eyes. I mean,
Mhm.
I remember reading that, Queen Elizabeth I had wooden dentures
hmm
because she didn't have her own teeth. Now, in society in the Tudor Stuart sort of age, sugar had been introduced to the country, but only rich people could afford it. So it tended to be the rich people who had poor teeth because they were subjected to more sugar
Yeah.
than somebody who couldn't. So, now it's almost the opposite way round, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, where we're seeing a lot more dental decay and dental disease in areas that are less well off for a
Yeah,
multitude of reasons. Um,
absolutely.
and in that sort of time, we want to show off our teeth. We want to have the photography, the beautiful smiles in the photos, and the beautiful white teeth. And I don't know, I think seeing how fast like photography and like cameras have evolved has really ramped that up. We saw it on Zoom when we went in through COVID as well. People
Yes,
not wanting to show their teeth or their smiles
absolutely. Yeah,
on Zoom.
yeah, yeah. And I think it did lead to a lot of insecurities because, when you watch these like 10 years younger and what's the makeover programs. The thing that really gets people, and it's the massive change to their lives, is when their teeth are sorted out and they first, have that smile.
Yeah.
And that's what they've missed for however long they haven't felt able to smile. So for confidence and, self-assurance and, just feeling, that you're part of the overall community, I suppose, because if you don't like your smile, then you don't smile, and then people take you to be not a very friendly, happy person. Or people smiling behind their hand. I mean, you see that all the time. Or
Yeah.
people refusing to have the photo taken. And we live in an age where everything is filtered. Whatever you see online is not how the real person looks. And we have got into that sort of really highly aesthetic American turkey teeth kind of scenario, which thankfully I think is turning a corner, because people are now wanting a more natural smile.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, we see some dreadful ones. We see some dreadful ones that people think is the actual absolute perfect smile, and
Yeah.
we know that the shapes of our teeth shouldn't all be flat. They're all supposed to have different heights, because that's how they're designed for us to eat. And I think we have to get back to that kind of being natural, and not tooth whitening done by a dentist, done legally, is
Yeah.
safe, and it really can help. And if you see somebody who's got a really nice stain-free white smile with a few imperfections, that's normal, isn't it? That's normal. We're all perfectly imperfect, aren't we?
Yeah. Absolutely. That's such a beautiful way to put it as well. There is such beauty in imperfection, and we have lost our way with that a little bit. And we do unfortunately see the consequences of bad turkey teeth, as we'll call them. And they don't look like they're practical for eating or drinking or doing anything. But also, there is the same with people who have an excessive amount of lip fillers. You're changing your smile significantly when you have things like lip fillers, because it kills the muscles around it. It's Botox. That's what it's designed to do. So you're not going to be able to smile as big. You're not going to have that, like, if you get bad injections, you're going to lose the Cupid's bow, which is what makes a lovely mouth shape. And it's there's a lot of different ways that people are cosmetically adjusting their smiles.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't, diss anybody who
No.
does things to make them feel more confident. But I think confidence needs to come in a more natural form, and for us to know that, we haven't got the worst teeth in the world. The Americans cannot say that anymore, because we can show that we have better oral health than people in America. We
Yep.
may not have the tombstone straight as a die teeth, which aren't natural, but we have, it's not just our teeth. I mean, we've all got, you know, different shaped fingers, or different shaped nails, or a different nose, or uh, hair, or we're all individual, aren't we? And our smile should be individual. And it's really nice to be able to, talking about our smile wall, is
Hmm.
looking at those teeth, and I know who in my family has sent their smile in, because I can recognize their smile, and I will say to the rest of them, why haven't you sent your smile in? And they'll go, how do you know? Well, because I can't see it. And you do, and it's a comfort, isn't it? Knowing that smile. I mean, when a baby is first born, they start to smile because they're being smiled at by their parents, and it's a smile of recognition, isn't it? So it's right from birth that if you have a small baby and you're interacting and smiling with that baby, it gives the baby confidence and warmth, and it knows that it's cared for. And I think that's really important. So we grow up with it.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder then where you think smiles and smile enhancements are going to go in the future. We're sort of seeing that turkey teeth boom die down a little bit. However, those people will never have natural teeth again. They're not going to be able to take them out and have them grow back. They're stuck with that for life, you know? Are we
Yeah,
maybe
they
gonna...
are. Yeah, they are. And obviously we see some people who are having sort of 24, 26 crowns, which is far too many. I mean, it's just over treatment at its worst. And they can have the crowns replaced, obviously, but they will always have to have crowns. So yes, they could have the crowns replaced to be more natural. What I'd like to see is people just loving their own smile and not wanting to change it because that is the fad at the moment. I mean, I remember in the 80s, we all, or 80s and 90s, we all had like tiny, thin eyebrows. Well, they're not in anymore. And, if you've overplucked your eyebrows, they don't grow back very well. So, you're stuck then, what do? You have to draw them in. And that was a fashion fad, not as serious as having your teeth cut down to
Mhm.
crowns, obviously, but I hope that we can get to a point where we know that everything we see is not real and we are real, and we learn to love ourselves as we are and love our smiles for every bit of difference it is to the next person that you're sitting by or sitting opposite as we are.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've been at events before where they've said, like dentists have said to me, like, "Oh yeah, we learn to recognize people by their teeth." Like I wouldn't refer to you as, "Oh, that girl in the blue shirt." I'd refer to you as, "Oh, that girl with the small chip on her front tooth," or whatever it was. And I was like, "Oh, okay." It is like a signature. It's different for everyone,
Yes.
or at least it should be, at least a little
Yeah,
bit. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
When you were, you used to work on the helpline, was confidence about their teeth a really common thing that people used to ask?
Very much. Yeah, very much so. Um, because people always perceive that their teeth look worse than they actually do, and people are judging them, and they're never going to be as bad as you imagine they are.
Hmm.
And there are non-invasive things that can be done to improve it, like I said, like professional tooth whitening done by your dentist or your hygienist, or it just kind of brightens everything. Everybody has a different shade of tooth. It's like everybody has different skin tones, different hair colors. So my teeth won't be the same color as yours, or same color as anybody else's. That I might meet today, because we all have a different coloring. So when you have tooth whitening done, it lightens your teeth and but still stays within your colouring range, if you see what I mean.
Yeah,
Whereas if
yeah.
you have lots of crowns and veneers, you could literally choose whatever colour you like and you could have bright white. But that doesn't go with the rest of your colouring. And that's why these teeth stick out so much, is because you're not following. And a good rule of thumb is when you have tooth whitening, you should really whiten them to match the colour of the whites of somebody's eyes and not go any
Okay.
lighter. So that's always quite a good way of thinking about it. That you don't really need to go super white, Hollywood white, is it called? And as I say, I think that we need to just get back to having confidence in what we've got rather than trying to change things, because that gets addictive.
Hmm.
And where'd you stop? You change your teeth, so you don't like your nose. So you change your nose, you don't like your cheekbones, so you change your it's never ending. So nobody is ever going to be satisfied with what they've got. And I find a natural smile far more endearing and nicer. And if somebody's got turkey teeth, I find myself, I can't stop looking at them.
Yeah.
Can't stop looking at the teeth. And I think that's wrong because we come as a package. So we kind of like should look at the whole face.
But a bit of a different topic for us, but one that we couldn't not talk about considering it's Smile Month. But next time we're going to be talking about the history and, past, present, and future of a different dental health topic. So come back and listen to that. And yeah, I hope you take a second today and just appreciate your smile.
Said.
Hannah, I just Venmoed you for dinner.
Obsessed. I'm spending it right now on the lip gloss that's been sitting in my cart.
What do you mean spending it right now?
You can instantly spend your balance with the Venmo debit card or when you pay with Venmo at checkout.
Stop, say more.
More exactly. The more you do with Venmo, the more you get, like earning up to 5% cash back with Venmo Stash. Get the Venmo debit card or check out online. Venmo Stash bundle terms and exclusions apply. Max $100 per month. See terms at venmo.me/stash terms. Venmo checkout not available at all merchants. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A.
Finding ways to be financially savvy is a smart move. And knowing you could be saving money for the things you really want, like that dream home or new ride, is a great feeling. That's why the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you save when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
At Strayer University, we help students like you go from, is it possible, to anything is possible by offering access to up to 10 no-cost gen ed courses, so you can reach your goals affordably and fast. Visit strayer.edu to learn more. No-cost gen eds provided by Strayer University affiliate Sophia. Eligibility rules apply. Connect with us for details. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.